So we're back with another live match. It's been my first one for probably a month. I haven't really fished many opens or anything. I qualified for Fishermania, so I'll be back and forth practicing for that, making sure everything's right. But that's finally out of the way now, so we can crack on with some live matches. I filmed this match actually before I qualified, so this was probably the last sort of match I fished that I could film, really. It was the Guru Barson 3-day festival. Brilliant festival this is. 60 odd anglers over 3 days, rotate around the sections. So just give you a little bit of a lowdown how we went down, really. Day one, I drew a peg that I drew last year and caught a load of fish on. Unfortunately this time it was absolutely pup. I ended up last but one in the section, whether the fish weren't there or I just didn't fish very well. Probably a bit of both, to be honest. I wasn't really on it, I don't think. I've ended up with 30 odd pound, which was last but one in the section, a 7-peg section. So before we even got going, the festival was over, basically, which was a little bit disappointing because I do look forward to that festival every year. I never really seem to do any good in it. But we had 30 pound the first day with 7 like little carp, little like ghosty ones, nice little fish, just not enough of them. Like I said, last but one. My mate to my left was last, I was last but one, and then round the sort of the sides of the section, they caught a few more than us. But to be honest, I needed 70 pound to win the section, and if I was still there now, I probably wouldn't have caught it. I'm on to day 2, where I drew a peg 104, 2 down from where I drew last year. I almost drew the same pegs again. 2 down from where I drew last year, and I've had a brilliant day. I've caught 5 carp slapping early doors, just slapping an 8mm pellet over. And then I got 60 odd pound of skimmers through the mid-match when it really wasn't happening for anybody. And then I've been firing loads of pellets on that bomb line. I've dropped on that with 2 hours to go and caught a pile, like probably a dozen carp on that. Finished up with 170 pound, which won the section, which was really pleasing. I don't know what's itching. And then on to day 3, I drew a nice peg again, to be fair. Peg 25 on the Riverside bank. Pleased to draw there. There was a few bad pegs further up in the section, so luckily we avoided them. So this is the match from day 3. I managed to get most of it, but the last hour my GoPro decided to slip off a tripod and fall in with the battery. The flap was open as well, so not a bloody great start. So that's gone in, and then that was sort of the end of the filming. But we got a good 5 hours. There were 6-hour matches, so we got 5 hours. You'll be able to get adjusted to the match from this. So I'll put this on now then, and then we'll report back afterwards. It's day 3 Guru Festival today. Had a bad first day, but I won yesterday. And I've drawn alright today now, so hopefully we'll have a few slapping early doors. The wind's quite bad, so I don't know what the sound's going to be like. But I'll try my best. So let's just have a quick go slapping. Straight up to 60 meters. Snaps. fancying that slapping. I'm looking around, nobody's catching on it. Especially, well, not this side anyway, so I'm going to have a go on that long chuck. 6-minute casts. Let's see what happens up there for a bit. I think it'll be like a last 2-hour job along this bank here. Few on the edge, few on the bottom. Plenty of pellets with that hybrid. Tidy him up a bit. Just chuck it quite regular. Gone round. First chuck. There's a carp. Which one is it? Big old F1. It's filling on it. Bouncing about. Big old F1. Nice. Wafter on there, 6mm. That bite took about 4 minutes, I'd say. There's an odd carp coming out that way, but that isn't my section, I don't think. No, it's not, so we're alright with that. Tidy him up again. Good. Those pellets hammering in on that line. Gone round again on my third check. Sure, I just seen one swirling my pellets on my thread line. It's a lovely bite there. Not chucking in miles, like 50 metres I suppose. I haven't even counted the turns or stick depth. Lovely bite. I hope I was a carp I seen in my pellets then. Just put something on that, just absolutely hammering them in, like just poaching them in, flat out. It's a carp, isn't it? Full power. Nailed. Beautiful. Big old eye break. It's a carp that. Don't take me to the flips, I don't know how far I was chucking it. I haven't counted the turns or nothing.
Oh, wait. Let me check this out, Mark. It's pretty easy.
Alright. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes
just like, you just throw those on, it's fucking buckled over, and you're like, oh, here we go.
Sometimes you just don't grab hold by that little hook with an 8mm, do you know what I mean? I always feel like, I guess I missed my first 2 bites, I should have a 14s on you with a big hook like that.
But I used quite a small 8mm, like a really small 8mm, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just unlucky more than anything, like.
Yeah, it's happened sometimes, biting this up, sometimes just don't take hold.
I had one other bite where it went under, but no bow wave, no nothing, something that might have been a roach or something.
Yeah. Yeah, just a long way to wind them in, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking is it.
I've been leathering them eaters, and I swear just now there was a big swirl in my pellets. There was no birds about. I just looked up and see the big swirl. I didn't see no birds there.
No way. Alright, yeah.
Pliodosaurus, right? Oh yeah, it's a good fish. Real good looking carp.
Yeah.
The original Whisker biscuit ring.
Say again?
The original Whisker biscuit.
Oh, what the hook, Mike?
A pink 6mm wafter.
I've got the orange one.
Pink, I'm telling you, boy. Nobody listens to me.
No one.
No, not interested when I gotta say nobody is.
No one.
You in?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to orange.
You what?
I'm going to stick to orange chocolate.
Get that orange off there, pink one.
Get that back there, Mike.
Keep it on the back.
I better go and get the phone out of my ear. I'll speak to you.
Oh, that's the first carp I've had a long trip for years.
What is it? You're getting it.
Are you good? I've just decided to have a look in the pool now. Don't know whether it's the right thing to do. There's an odd carp being caught around me, but I just feel like if I can get them lined up, I can catch 40 pounds really quick on this. Bigger than that, it's roach there. Bigger than that. We're up to the 2-hour mark now, and I've had 3 more chucks on that big rod, and I had 3 skimmers with that. I've just dropped in on the bottom. I've had 2 chucks on it, and I've had loads and loads of liners, so there's some fish on it. The lad next door to me's catching well. Chucking a PVA bag into the middle. I haven't got no PVA with me, so that's out the window, but fancy there's so many liners on this. It was like yesterday, there's loads of liners and then you catch a few then, so at least there's some signs of fish. If I can nick a few on this and then some fish in that edge, you might be alright. There's liners there again, man. Just got to keep feeding them pellets. Pellets going in. Bound to happen eventually after all them liners. It's a good sign. Get one this early on the bottom. That's what we want. Give him the chance now. Oh. Get him lined up on this. Just keep feeding, trying to feed everybody around. Then really. halfway mark now. I thought that my peg is full of fish on that bottom. They line it to death on it, just can't get a pick up. I've only had 2 on it, 2 small carp. I've just chucked a little mini method in there now. I'm going to give this a 5-minute chuck and then I'm going to feed my edge. It's catching really well next door on the bag, so I need to make something happen now, so it's falling again. There's plenty of fish on this line, I just can't convert these liners into bites, whereas yesterday, the more liners I was getting, the more bites I was getting. There's got another one again next to me there. I haven't got any PVA with me, which is unfortunate for me. So I have to keep plugging away on this. I'm going to give this another 4 minutes and then I'm going to fill that edge in down there. They caught a few along the edge there yesterday. And then hopefully you'll get a riser of carp from somewhere. Yippee! It's on round. First check back. Feeding that edge. Scoop round. Hopefully, just having a bit of a run together. Stay. It's only in there 2 minutes or so. Just tug round. Stop that. size we want. That's what we want. We want it now. Tell you what, boy, Jimmy's walking that section over there.
Benny.
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, but 1, 2, 4 is on our first and the second.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
And Jimmy's fucking in there.
No,
Jimmy.
yeah.
What's he getting from?
Snapping, boy, got it. Yeah, he likes that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim out. Yeah. They should be. Yeah. And like you.
Well, yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, lucky. No, I'm never against you. Always with you. Especially when I'm in shares with you.
Sorry?
Especially when I'm in shares with you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Alright, boy. hard to catch today. I mean, for some reason, it didn't go underneath the nets here. of a big weight, but that bomb is too slow, so it's feeding it. Ouch it. It's wind. Back on the bomb, double hairy corn again, and straight round again. Maybe I just need that like visual bait to get a quicker bite. Hopefully we'll have a run at this now. I've got a little look at that edge. It's towing so much down the edge. It's pulling me away from the edge. Just don't fancy it. I've just fed it again. Keep going on this one. Easily catch 100 pound an hour on this bomb. The wind is so bad, man. Okay, so that was the match. Really nice day, to be fair. Really enjoyed it. I love going to Barton, especially when you catch them big old carp on like running line methods. It's a great venue. We finished with £140. We had a couple on that big rod to start. The skimmers never went as it was. It was probably too windy, couldn't present it tidy to him. And then halfway through, we sort of got on that bomb and we've had a few fish on that. It was never like mental, but it was good. We ended up with £140. Which surprisingly was no good, to be honest. That was only 4th and 07 pegs. The lad next to me absolutely redesigned me. He's had £196, I think he had. Maybe a little bit more. 196, 198. He was second in the match anyway, so fair play to him. He's caught on a little PVA bag, which is something I wanted to do, to be fair, until I looked in the tube and all the PVA had already melted. So it had been in there for that many years. Like, I never ever use this, or something I need to think about for next year. And then at the end peg in the section also had 190. And then the lad next to him was at 180. So it's fished really well, that section. Whilst I've got it here, I just show you the little bomb setup because it worked really well for me the last 2 days. And also my mate Robbie Taylor won the match the last day with this little setup. And I think, was he first or second in the match the day before as well? So he's had 2 mega days on it. So starting off, I had 8 pound reline on. Then I got a little inline lead, 19 grams that is. So that's just running freely up and down the line. And then for a little connection, I've got one of these, it's called a heli swivel, medium. So you've got, where's the thing there? You've got like a little hook there. I don't know if you'll be able to focus on that, that's the trouble. With a bit of rubber, you can slide back and forth. On the other end, there's a swivel. So that's attached to the main line. And what I've got is a little rubber bead. And it's just the perfect size to be able to stop that going up inside the bomb. I just push that over the swivel end, and then you end up with that. See him like that? And then that'll just butt up against your bomb there then. It's a lovely little connection that is. And then the hook length, I've just got 8 inches of 0.22, that's end gauge. Any line, as long as it's strong, you know, needs to be strong up there because they fight like Billy O up there. And then a big old size 10 QM1 with a bait band on it. If I just turn that around, you might be able to see that. Which way am I going? Like that, and you'll just be able to make out there's a little bit of silicone rubber on there. And what you want to do, something I've learned, is that silicone, you want to be able to get your hook bait, which is an 8mm pellet. I did have a few fish on hairy corn, but an 8mm pellet was like your standard hook bait up there. So that's on there like that. And then just pull your little bit of silicone right round to get it as close to that hook point as you can. So we're sitting like that. And then that will help the hook turn in the fish's mouth and result in more hookups. So it's a nice little rig, very, very simple, but same as everything, simple but effective. So there's your little components. It's a brilliant way of fishing, brilliant way of catching big weights. So we've got the Feeder National coming up now, the Welsh Feeder National. That's at Dolyger Reservoir. It's a beautiful place. Even if we don't catch anything, the scenery is worth filming on its own. So I'm going to get that done as a live match. Hopefully the weather's not too rough because it can get really rough up there. So the wind might just be a nuisance on the camera. But we'll have a go with it. I'm sure we'll get a few bits and pieces if we don't get a full film. So I'm looking forward to fishing that. And then I'll upload that one as soon as it's done. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that sort of game again. Helps the channel grow, this, that and the other. And I'll see you on the next one.